Hi everyone, this is Alina. Welcome to Impact Founders, part of the Business Beyond Borders podcast. Here we sit with entrepreneurs who not only build fast, but also build with purpose. And today we will meet Samuele Pinta. Samuele is a co-founder of a startup called Satispay. Satispay reached already its unicorn status and counts almost 6 million users. It's an amazing story of a company created in Piedmont in Italy. And we are meeting here in Luxembourg with Samuele to talk about the story of Satispay, the story of Samuele, how he leads, how he defines impact, about the culture, about the co-founders' dynamics. Let's just go into Samuele's office and begin. Ciao Samuele, come stai?
Tutto bene.
Tutto bene, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Hi Samuele, thanks for hosting us today. I'm really looking forward to our interview. So we'll talk today about Satispay and your story. Satispay is an Italian-born company and it reached its unicorn status. So it would be great to hear more from you about your own story and the story of Satispay and how all this happened.
Sure. Thanks for coming. And this is the typical question that that people used to, especially Italian people, used to ask me because it's quite unusual for a company in Italy to make what Satispay did. Now maybe things are changing a little bit, but 10, 11 years ago, nobody ever heard about a startup. So now everybody talking about startup, scale up. At the time, the culture around those kind of stuff was really zero. And I was doing completely other stuff, family business, nothing to do with this. I was bringing with myself passion about technology, finance, and so on. I had some good friends, Alberto and Dario, and actually they were also doing things that are very detached from what I was doing, but we used to talk and to share ideas. We were young, so when you're young, you also, you also have more energy, and you are constantly looking forward. And at a certain point, Alberto and Dario told me that they were going to do something. And they explained to me about Satispay. Actually, Satispay is an idea that is born from Albi and Dario. And the day they start talking to me about Satispay, I didn't know. Was kind of like an intuition that was going to be like something big, something that was going like to shape like my professional career and everything. And one day, after they incorporated the company, they made me a phone call and they asked me, "Do you want to join us?" And I said yes straight away. And I was working in a family business, so it was kind of a tough decision. If you look externally, it was a tough decision. To me, I didn't thought like a single second and said yes, I want to. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just saw that there was like all this energy around something that I was so enthusiastic about, and I said yes, why not? I'm young enough to start this journey. So what is a startup? And Satispay was really a startup in the real way of defining a startup. We were like three young guy with not even like an office, no money, just an idea, and with this willingness to share their own idea and to understand how to make it happen. And we are here now after let's say 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years. And it's great because we managed to do what we had in mind. It was not easy. But I would say that in a way or another, we kind of pave the road also for other companies, other entrepreneurs like us, to find like the courage and to really think that something was possible also in a culture where we were not used to see those kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks to Albin Dario that called me that day. I can remember it very well. I also have a screenshot that we used to show like at our general update. And yeah, it's a really good memory.
It's a very beautiful story, and I love the how you talk about the energy that was there, but also this dream startup that you always think 3 young founders, a great idea, and then you create something really important that you can see now the story of Satispay. What were the key milestones when you were building the startup and scaling up and reaching the unicorn status?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of key milestones when you are like a startup, starting from like finding like the first colleagues that they are committed to that, and you don't have much money to give to them, so you are part of the journey because you offer to them part of the company with stock option, going through like the first fundraising, and again, back then, 10 years ago, raising money in Italy, in Europe, especially in Italy, was not easy. And we wanted to raise money and to create like a track record of with investor that was the kind of track record that is more like the US way, the US style of raise capital. I mean, people that really invest in the idea, in the talent. They don't care about the control of the company. For them, what is important is that you, as a founder, you keep the control of the company, because it's the only way for their investment to become like 10x, 100x, 1000x. And I mean, it was not easy because, you know, the idea of people, okay, I'm gonna give you money, but I want to keep a little bit of control. Where are my guarantees and so on? No, it's not like that. You trust me, and I'll do everything I can to make it happen. So it was not easy. We were lucky enough to find people with this kind of vision. We started like building the track record, and then you know, Satispay is not a typical commercial company. We are a financial institution. So also we had this kind of burden. We need to become like not a bank, because we are not a bank as of today. We are an money institution, but it's very, very similar. So you need to get the license. What does it mean? Okay, we are really playing an adult game. And yes, we got the license in London. At the beginning, and then actually here in Luxembourg, I can tell you more about Luxembourg afterward. And then you launch the product, and you see like having like the first traction, and you start maybe having like your first 100,000 consumer, your first million consumer. You start having like your first big merchant. You build the reputation. I mean, I can count like dozen of milestones. If I look at the most recent, I would say being able to attract capital from US was really like an important one. And I mean, in the last 2 years, I mean, the most important milestone that we managed to reach is how we managed to attract talent from all over the world. I mean, people relocating from US to Luxembourg or to Milan because they want to work for an European company, and they bring tons of experience. And I mean, I would say that the last big milestone is to become those kind of employer, able to attract those kind of people.
And that sounds amazing, and it's really like a European dream to be able actually to attract the capital from the US and from other parts of the world, right? That's amazing what you achieved. Maybe for our listeners also, can you explain a bit better the idea behind the Satispay and what's the difference with other fintechs that are on the market?
The idea of Satispay was to, and we are talking about like the idea at day one. Something is not working in the payment ecosystem. At the time, and I'm relating to the market in Italy, we were in a market in which paying with electronic money was very difficult. There was a lot of aid toward like all the card ecosystem and the cost related to that and so on. So we started studying it a little bit, and we discovered all the inefficiencies that were related to that. And I mean, debit, credit card, they're born in 1960. They're here today because they did like a good job to bring the technology that was not even a technology of the 60s toward today, but this required a lot of player to come into the game, and any player at his own cost. So we in 2014 we saw like this opportunity to seize that was starting from 2007, 2008, Steve Jobs presenting the iPhone started changing everything. 2009, an important regulation directive came into force in Europe related to payment services that was saying you don't need anymore to be a bank. You can also be like an e-money institution, which is like kind of a bank, but it's the access, it's easier. And then we had in 2014 like a big milestone of all the euro area. That was what is called in technical terms the SEPA infrastructure. SEPA means that with SEPA means that all over Europe you can exchange euro currency with a very simple technological setup, which is very cheap. So we said, okay, we are in 2014, there's the iPhone, there's the payment service directive, we have SEPA, maybe we can rethink the way payments are done. So since the beginning we started building this new network, independent from like the network that we knew at the time. And this was really the tricky part of our job, because in order to have like a network Satispay working, you need both the chicken and the egg, the consumer and the merchant. And it was really tricky, but we managed to build this network. Starting from Italy, we have as of today almost 6 million consumer, 400,000 merchants that are building this network. And then what happened over the years is that we understood how to build other things on top of this network. This network was really a strength of Satispay. I mean, the relationship with both consumer and merchant is quite unique. So the first things that really prove like the strength of this network was when 3 years ago or 4 years ago we decided to enter like the employee benefit market, which means what we call here Shekrepa ticket restaurant. In Italy there are also other kind of employee benefit related to shopping voucher mainly. And we said, okay, this is again the perfect occasion to reinvent a little bit a business. The business model of employee benefit is really something that is coming from there's a little bit of difference with the card, because the card evolved over time. Employee benefit didn't evolve, so actually it was really like, okay, let's bring digitalization there. And that was an amazing proof of strength of Satispay, because basically the day that we launched the employee benefit, we become kind of all of a sudden the second player in the market.
Amazing.
And people start appreciating it, because when you use Satispay as a ticket restaurant, you don't have even to say I'm using ticket restaurant, you just say I'm using Satispay, and Satispay is doing everything on your behalf. If there are ticket restaurant is using that, is if you don't have enough ticket restaurant is adding money in order to allow you to make the payment in one go, and you don't even realize. So basically you set it and you forget it. And last week we launched, for example, Buy Now Pay Later. Again, Buy Now Pay Later is another service that will leverage all the quality of having this payment network, both consumer and merchant. We know our customer. Starting from that, we are better in understanding when we can advance you some credit, so you can use this pay in 3 functionality. That is a spectrum of the payment, and will allow Satispay, as all we know, to become something more, because it will unlock certain ticket size that we were not managing before. So yeah, the value of the network is really being able to build on top of the data that you have, or the relationships that you have, services that otherwise will be very difficult to bring to the consumer.
It's beautiful how you describe that you are not just had an idea that keeps being the same and evolving a little bit, but you are really creating this user centricity, which we'll talk later, people centricity, and add on top of it something that creates more value for the person finally, and that makes the life easier, like this idea that you don't have to think how many Czech repa you have and just top up with your Satispay account. I think it's really, there's lots of potential clearly there, and Italy experience has shown it, right? Wonderful. We are sitting in Luxembourg, in your office in Luxembourg. So, and you are CEO actually here, that's your role in Luxembourg, right? So why Luxembourg for your international expansion? What has it offered you?
I remember very well when in 2018, we had to decide where to set up our shop in Europe, which is not only international expansion, it's really like the place from which we offer the service also in our first market, which is Italy. Since the beginning, we want to be like an international company with the possibility to expand and to offer our service all over Europe. So we wanted to be like in an international environment for many reasons. We want to find a place in which the rules were easy to understand and harmonized to offer the service all over Europe. We wanted to be like in a by design international environment, also to have like a way to exchange with other people and so on, and avoid to stay a little bit too much focused toward our Italian roots. And we look at the different places in Europe, and in 2018 I was saying I came here in Luxembourg for 3 days, and in 3 days I managed to meet everybody, from the Ministry of Finance to the biggest bank in Luxembourg. They don't even know who was Satispay, but they wanted to give us the opportunity to exchange, and any conversation that I was having was creating connection for the following conversation. And we went to the regulator, the CSSF, and it was really an open conversation. And I mean, I can tell that in other countries was not that easy. And I mean, what we did here in 3 days is, I mean, kind of unimaginable in other places. And we said, okay, this is the place where we need to be. I mean, a place that wants us to be there and is gonna provide us what is needed in order to success. And so we are here now since 2018, and I mean, we had to learn the Luxembourgish way. I mean, we all know that it's a very small country. There are all the pros that I told you. There are also some cons, mainly of the cons related to managing the talent pool, because I mean, it's being like a small country. You need to face the talent pool, and Luxembourg is attracting also other company internationally, so there's also a bit of competition, which is good because then we all grow together and we create like the talent pool that we like. But yes, I would say that we decide to come in Luxembourg because for us Luxembourg equal Europe.
You've talked in the beginning about the intuition. Was it another intuition that's the place for you to be?
I mean, it was pretty clear.
Okay.
I mean, you can see the difference. I clearly remember the difference in the conversation that I had, like in the other places. And I mean, all the countries in Europe are trying to support, to become like more open, more international. But I mean, maybe the story of Luxembourg and also the fact that it's maybe small, can be like more agile, more fast. But yes, was at the end was quite an easy choice.
You also have a very interesting story in Luxembourg because you started as part of Loft, right? And then you moved out. And what was the learning from this? What were the milestones? How did it go for you?
I mean, Loft, they really helped us a lot. I mean, when I was talking before about the connection in those 3 days, I mean, everything started from the guys at the Loft. They also offered us like the office at the beginning, and then still every time I go there, there's the energy that I was talking before. I mean, there's plenty of energy. I would love to have my offices there, but I mean, we are too many. I always tell the guy that I would love to be there, but we are 60 now, and I mean, we need to give space to other small startups to use those facilities. One of the most interesting things about Luxembourg is really the easiness of creating connection. And people is not scared to create connection. And I would say that everybody that is in Luxembourg has something interesting to share. Because either he's an expatriate and he's here for a reason, or because, I mean, he's doing something very interesting here in Luxembourg. So, and you keep like creating this value in this conversation, and you strengthen like your network. And I mean, I would say it's one of the most important value of Luxembourg, apart from everything that the government is trying to do in order to attract a company like us.
We'll talk about talent attraction later. We've discussed already this people centricity that you have in the company. So your mission is people paying people, right? Or your vision. You have lots of values around people. And if you look the way even you talk about employees, the way you showcase them on your website, there's always, the whole website is really people-centric, the way I saw it. Where this people centricity comes from, and what does it mean for Satispay?
I mean, it's something that we had to learn during the journey. Satispay was made by 3 people at the beginning, and now is made by 700 people. And the action of each and every one of us is defining what is Satispay. So the journey brought us to understand what's the framework we need to apply. I mean, when you are in 3, it's easy, and you become 30 and you have a different framework, and then you become 100 and say, okay, the framework that I had when we were 30, I mean, it's not working anymore, we should change something. You get to 300 and again, and you believe that now it's done, but that's not true, because now we are 700, and I mean, things keep evolve, and our main duty also as a co-founder is to ensure that the value that brought Satispay to life, they're gonna stay alive, and they're gonna keep defining the Satispay of the future. And it's all about people and the pillars that you mentioned, or the value, if you want to call it values, which are like the behavior is the compass of the person that are working with Satispay, that is defining what is Satispay. We want to identify those 11 pillars. I can tell you that it took like months, quarters to define those pillars. Seems silly, but we had like a lot of fight, exchange, me and my co-founders and the people that is with us since longer, to identify which were the right one, because we couldn't end up with 30 pillars. Nobody would have understood or remember all of them. So we say, okay, we need to decrease the number. At the end, we ended up with 11. Those are really non-negotiable. I mean, when we are talking about like put user first, embrace feedback, I mean, there's no way we are going to make a decision that is not going to be put the users at the center of this conversation. And if something during the meeting is deviating, it requires just one person raising the hand and saying, this is not user first. And the conversation is reset. I mean, it's non-negotiable. And this is more user-centric, but then we have maybe the embrace feedback one, the importance of sharing with colleagues, with peers feedback and asking for feedback and knowing that feedback can be like negative or constructive, but I mean, it's all you need, it's everything you need in order to become a better professional. So creating this culture of keep asking for feedback or keep giving feedback, even sometimes it's not easy. To sit down with a person and tell to this person, okay, those things should have been done in a different way, and this and that. I mean, it's way more easier just to talk about the good things. But this is not allowing like actually people to grow professional as they should or they would. So yeah, this is so into our culture that actually when we make the performance conversation with our colleagues, we tend not to discuss about deliverables, KPI and so on. We start the conversation with the pillars. And maybe we talk about like your superpowers, the ones that you can, I mean, are easy to you, and the ones that are a little bit of a weakness. And while you discuss about those superpowers and weakness, you relate to a certain moment during your like working life in Satispay and so on. And basically at the end of the conversation, there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, you talked about performance, but focusing on the pillars. So yeah, it's the way we identify to make sure that Satispay is gonna keep staying the company that we had in mind at the beginning.
Samuele, how do you actually hire for those pillars and for this next practice? What's the success criteria for hiring for Satispay?
I would say hiring is one of the most important part of my life, my co-founders' life, and senior people lives, because again, people is everything, and we need to identify people that have our same kind of belief of they trust those kind of approach. So actually the hiring process require us as a hiring manager to measure the conversation that we have with the candidate against the pillars. So actually we are measuring the pillars, and we are gonna sharing like results each other to understand if we are all aligned on the cultural fit, and we need to be, and everybody need to be aligned. I mean, there's no way that we are gonna hire someone which maybe for me is perfect, but a colleague of mine or my co-founder sees something that is doesn't think is the right fit, because we trust each other, and it's too much important that we are aligned with that. So the hiring process is pretty long, but you know, when you bring on board the right person, everything changes from the day after. When you bring on board like the wrong person, even if you bring it like maybe quickly, and then it's going to be like a disaster managing everything, because I don't have to explain the complexity of managing like a night that didn't go as it should. I sometimes I share with my co-founders experience from hiring, or maybe I have doubt about some conversation that I have, and so on. And I can clearly remember one conversation that I had with Alberto a few weeks ago. I was not sure about one person, and was really a good professional. And Alberto made me the question: did you learn something from this candidate, or he just replied the way that you were expecting, which is good? And I said, okay, it's good. It's now time to think about bringing people that is gonna teach us stuff. Just replying properly to my answer, okay, it's good, but it's now time to also to look for something more. And yeah, it's also fun because it's the process of sharing with colleagues your view about the pillars, and see what they think about the same pillars, and try to understand if there's maybe some gray area that we need to explore a little bit more, so agree on how to explore. It's a fun part of the game, and it requires a lot of effort, because you need to be like very focused during the interview. It's just one shot that you have, 45 minutes or so. So it's incredibly important for the candidate, is their professional life. And so you need to be up to also their expectation, not only the Satispay expectation. So it's fun.
Okay, so there are 3 co-founders in Satispay, right? You are one of the co-founders. You also have Dario and Alberto. You mentioned them already. How do you actually take decisions together and manage to continue your partnership? What's the key here?
We don't have problem in fighting and telling. One of our pillars is be transparent. Another one is embrace feedback. We also, between the 3 of us, we try to keep this level of challenge between us, and we don't waste time if we need to share something between the 3 of us. There's something that I think it's really like an honest and continuous exchange. What is helping us, at least what is helping me, is that I know that we are all looking to the same direction. So anything that I'm gonna do or tell them, just as anything that they're gonna do or tell me, is because they believe and I believe is the right thing to do to go toward that direction. So no other noise. We want to get there. I believe this is the right thing to do. You believe it's something different. Let's find what we believe is right, because at the end, the ultimate goal is that one. So yeah, it comes natural to us. Maybe because we know each other from so long.
And it's beautiful to see how you live your values, actually. When you said those pillars were coming from the way we are and the way we work with each other, the way you explain how you work with them, it's really, again, living this culture and preserving it and building it for the future generations of Satispay. Wonderful. Very inspiring. Okay, let's go to the rapid fire round, which is our usual practice. I will ask you a few questions and you can just give short answers without explaining much. So, one app that you can't live without other than Satispay?
Spotify.
Okay.
You want to know more?
Maybe your playlist?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. My playlist is kind of always the same, to be honest, because I'm very, I mean, I have like a big passion for the certain kind of rock music from the 90s and so on. But I mean, having the world of music there for you, whatever you want is there, like in few milliseconds. I mean, I was used to the music cassette and the compact disc, and then Napster, Winamp, and you download the MP3, and any song that you download, you need to wait 30 minutes. I mean, it really changed like my approach to music. So yeah.
Spotify is amazing, I agree. One fintech trend you are most excited about right now?
I would say anything that is related to blockchain. So programmability of money, stablecoin. I mean, there's really something big there. We are all still trying to understand it a little bit better. But I mean, whenever you spend a little bit of time looking at what they call DeFi and what can you do with those kind of token, I mean, it's you can see it. It's an intuition. Something big is gonna happen, no doubt. And something good. I think it's gonna be something good. I mean, for sure there are some risks related to that, because we're talking about money, so we're gonna change the paradigm and so on. But I think it's gonna be something good.
Yeah, space to watch. Okay, thank you. What's the most fun use of AI in payments that you think might happen 10 years from now?
10 years is a very long. I mean, AI is moving so fast that in 1 week from now, what is true today is not anymore true. But I mean, the more boring, let's say the boring way to maybe see 10 years from now is that you basically have a CFO in your smartphone that knows when you pay taxes, when you need to make like a gift for the Christmas of someone, and knows your salary, and is helping you in order to manage your money, and you don't even realize. I mean, it's easy to see something like that can happen. If you want to be a little bit more visionary, maybe payment, the way we see, they're gonna disappear. Not as a feature, let's say, but as an action. Maybe, I don't know. Payment is so connected to what you're gonna do in your daily life. Maybe what you're gonna think, now we are also getting close to those kind of technologies. Maybe, I mean, it's part of your life. You need to pay, but you don't even realize. So you go shopping, you buy your vegetables, and you go outside, and I mean, it's done. Or maybe while you are taking like your bottle of champagne, someone in the headphone is gonna say, "Are you sure that you want to buy this one? You're gonna have to make like the gift for your anniversary tomorrow to your wife." So yeah, will bring a new way of living our life. Just as Spotify was a revolution, now it's very easy to see this revolution. Maybe it was also easy 20 years ago, but I can tell you, if I get back 20 years ago with where we were with music, to me was kind of impossible for Spotify to exist. The first time I saw Spotify, I said, "Oh, really? Really? I can have all the music I want with 10 euro per month? No, it's not. No, it's impossible." And now it's normality. So something is gonna happen also with the evolution of AI in the payment sector, for sure.
We'll see in 10 years.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? The next practice and the next frontier. Okay, what's the biggest misconception about fintech that we have?
I believe a misconception might be related to the fact that we might be seen as less secure or less close to regulation in respect to banks and so on. I don't think it's real. I mean, we are like constantly challenge ourselves in order to do things better in a safe and compliant way. And I think we are even more exposed than incumbent, because the difference between us and them is that actually we are fully digital, and so everything we do, we need to do it put into consideration that when you are digital, you are exposed to cyber security threats. So by design, we cannot even start thinking about the product without putting like the cyber part on top of it. And in order to do that, we need to have the best cyber security people in the market, while the old incumbent still very much focused maybe on like the physical part, smaller number in terms of customer. I mean, I can clearly see a little bit them lagging behind on certain digital oriented stuff. I would be curious to have a conversation with a cybersecurity expert of an incumbent toward like our cybersecurity expert. And it would be like an interesting conversation. And yeah, I believe they will also have something to learn from us.
Samuele, I know that you like to read books and you always react on some new titles. So which is the book that you are currently reading?
Interesting enough, I started 2 days ago a book which is called The Culture Code. The main topic of the book is how to create a very cohesive and committed group at work. And everything is about humanity, everything is about connection, and is all there. So actually, I read like the first 5 or 6 part of the book, and I mean, it's telling me something that deep in my heart I already know, and it's just reinforcing it, and it's just telling me, okay, this was like actually the right thing to do. So yeah, I find it very interesting.
Great, thank you. And we're going to the last part of our podcast. It's an advice segment. So I know that you are part of the Business Angels Network. And it would be great to know as your advice for the founders who are looking to do also something as beautiful as Satispay, to build a startup, scale up, unicorn. So how do you make the decisions and what is important for you to see in the startup?
I mean, again, it's about the people. I mean,
It's beautiful.
you have founders, you need to understand how much they are committed, how they are actually listening to the world, how they react, how they challenge the status quo. So yeah, maybe I can relate to me and my co-founders at the beginning, what we did right and we did wrong, so I can relate to them and how they are approaching it. So I would say that when you are like at the angel stage, it's really about understanding who is in front of you. And I mean, for sure the idea is super important, but this idea can evolve if there's the right person with the right attitude, with the right commitment. So yeah, the founders that you have in front of is really understanding the founder that is in front of you, I think is the first step to do.
Beautiful. I think this people in the center of everything has been the red thread of the conversation, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Samuele.
It's been a pleasure, really.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.